Hello and good morning. I'm Noel Doherty.
I'm Maggie Elder.
And this is the Legend Has It podcast.
We are really excited. Today is National S'mores Day.
It's also another holiday episode.
Yes.
Halloween.
Halloween again.
Again?
Yes, the first episode was definitely a Halloween special. Or perhaps the second.
I'm kidding. Yeah, this is another Halloween special because we're spacing out the episodes in a weird way. This is also Halloween.
Happy Halloween.
And happy S'mores Day. That one's kind of like one of my top holidays. Halloween's like not as prevalent in my opinion.
I think is number 9 for me.
Okay. Don't tell me the rest.
I won't. But in honor of National S'mores Day, we are going to be telling our favorite campfire story of all time.
Because what would a s'more be without a campfire?
Exactly.
And what would a campfire be without a campfire story?
Yes, exactly. We both went to the same camp growing up called Camp Rotunda.
Camp Rotunda. That's where we went. It's in a location that I'm familiar with. I know everything about Camp Rotunda because I went there as a camper.
Yeah.
And one of the most famous stories at the camp, but not everyone else knows about it, it's called The Tale of the Really Ugly Bird. And his feathers that were made of steel.
Yes.
The really ugly bird and his feathers that were made of steel. It's spookier than it sounds.
Yes.
We're going to take you through it.
Mm-hmm. I will start with the beginning because the beginning is my favorite. So the camper...
I love... Side note, I love when people start at the beginning of stories. It really just gives me context because sometimes if you start in the middle, I'm like, who are these characters?
Yeah, in media res, I'm like, what's going on? Yeah.
What's going on?
Who would want to start something in media res? What's going on? Yeah, that's what I say.
I love when they start at the beginning.
So basically what happens is in the beginning, whoever's telling the story, they'll go, ah! It's actually halfway through the story. It's not the scare. So
we're telling the story from the beginning.
Yeah.
But typically the traditional way is to start with
ah! And all the cameras go, whoa.
All the cameras,
and it goes, and that's how it gets ya. What gets ya, you might say? The really ugly bird with feathers made of steel. And his feathers made of steel.
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it starts, screaming, and then you eat a s'more, because it's a quick break after the scream, and then after the s'more.
Everyone needs a quick s'more break.
Then we start at the beginning. So, there once was a little bird. Just kidding. There once was an egg. The egg was made of steel. And because
that makes so much sense now!
Because the egg was made of steel, so basically the mama bird was a normal dove, morning dove, and
early bird. She gets lots of worms.
Yeah, exactly. She popped out 3 normal eggs and 1 steel egg, and she went as birds do.
She was, and she kicks.
Yeah.
With her duck foot or something.
Yeah, dove foot.
Kicks the steel egg out of the nest. Ew, I don't want you, she says. She's Southern.
Yeah. I don't want you.
I don't want you no more. Can't you tell I don't want you no more?
You weird steel egg. I don't know what you are. I don't know what you're doing in my nest.
Get out of my nest.
Out the nest, drops to the ground, but does not break.
Doesn't break.
It's made of steel.
Since it was made of steel and perfectly circular, it began to roll down the hill because the nest was on a tree on a large hill.
Big hill. At Camp Rotunda.
Naturally. And Camp Rotunda's at the bottom of the hill. Mm-hmm. And the nest was up at top of Silver Hill.
Yes.
That was the hill that it was on, and the hill... the name doesn't have any relevance to the story.
Yes.
I'm realizing that it might sound like it's relevant. It's not.
Anyway, the steel egg, shaped as a ball, rolled down the hill. And as it's rolling, it collects a lot of debris, and it becomes a huge boulder. Snowball effect. Steel ball effect, if you will. Coming straight to Camp Rotunda and Lake Rotunda. So it's going to hit the...
It's a lake.
Yeah, there's a lake.
I'm going to be honest, I forgot.
Yeah, okay. I forgot there was a lake at camp. Anyway, it's going to hit the lake, and there's going to be a tsunami, and it's going to take out the entire camp.
It's going to hit the lake, there's going to be a tsunami, it's going to take out the entire camp.
Yeah.
I'm caught up.
Yes. Do you remember what happens next?
I do remember what happens next. Mm-hmm. So one of the kids, a little boy, 8 years old, by the name of Timothy
the third.
Timothy the third. Don't forget it. That's his name.
Timothy the third.
Sees the boulder as it's getting like halfway, like pretty large, and it's 3/4 of the way down the mountain. And he goes, "There's a boulder." No, wait. He goes,
"You can't do it the right way."
I messed it up. I always mess up this part. Sorry. He goes, "There's a boulder coming down for this camp." And he alerts the camp counselor. The camp counselor, her name was Timothy with an A at the end.
Yeah.
And she goes, "Thank you, Timothy. I'll see to it that this boulder is stopped." Mm-hmm. And so the kiddies all run down to the edge of the pool and they start building a wall.
A dam, if you will. Yes, it's kind of ironic that year. They do like an animal mascot every year, and that year it was beaver. Mm-hmm. So they had all of these wood logs right by the lake.
Really convenient.
So they're like, I guess we're really getting into character. LOL, fun little joke as they're building this dam to stop from,
They had all the materials because it was beaver year. Yeah. They cycle through the 4 animals, which are beaver, cheetah, beetle, and underwater seahorse.
Yes, I forgot that it was seahorse. It is seahorse.
Some of them aren't underwater, but this year is about the underwater version.
This year it was beaver. Mm-hmm.
The year of the story was beaver. Mm-hmm. And the kids start building a dam, and then they're like most of the way through, and the boulder's getting closer, and they start to realize Timothy says this to them. He says it's to them. Timothy, he's talking. He's like, "You guys, I'm realizing something." This is Timothy talking, by the way. He's saying this to the other people there. This is Timothy, by the way. The little boy from earlier. Yeah. You remember Timothy?
Yeah, as they're running out of time.
They're running out of time. And he goes, "You guys, I just realized something." He's saying this to the rest of the campers there.
Okay.
He says, this wall is an awful lot shaped like a ramp. And they think... He says, "If my calculations..." No. No. He says, "If my calculations are correct, this boulder's gonna slingshot, or it's gonna do a ramp effect, and it's gonna, splash into the lake even harder.
And that's gonna destroy the world."
Yes.
If his calculations are correct. He's never wrong. Timothy, you've probably heard of him now because he's so famous.
In the history books.
Yeah, not the second. His father also happens to be really famous. Different reasons. We're not going to get into that.
Lake Rotunda, famously large. The boulder, also famously large. Mm-hmm. What's this? There's a crack in the boulder. Mm-hmm. The bird, the really, really ugly bird with the steel...
Really, really ugly bird.
Really, really, really ugly bird. And his steel feathers starts to hatch. Mm-hmm. And do you remember what happens next?
Yes. So I do remember. I was there when the story was told. Not
when it happened, when it was told.
So,
me too.
Yeah. So there's a crack, and Timothy he's standing right in front of the ramp.
Wait, can we pause?
Yeah.
I forgot to talk about our sponsor.
Oh, yeah.
The crack is reminding me. Butt crack attack. Cover your crack. It's underwear that goes like really high up. Kind of
right, only where the butt crack would be.
Yeah.
So it's normal underwear and then right at the top. Mm-hmm. They also do butt crack ultra where it's all the way up and it turns into suspenders.
Yeah.
So your butt crack will never be out.
Yeah,
and you won't get a wedgie. So, like, that's what their big thing is.
Butt crack attack ultra. I'm wearing them right now underneath. I swear. I'm not showing you because that's promiscuous. Mm-hmm. But that's our sponsor. Click the link in our bio. Okay, back to the story. We're in media res now. Ah!
Dang it, I was going to get to that. Just like, cut that out.
Okay, never mind.
Okay. Anyway.
Improv podcast.
Yeah.
Never mind.
Anyway, so basically, Timotheo sees the crack, and he's thinking to himself, that probably isn't going to do anything big and dramatic, but I am. He says that, but I am, out loud to all the campers. He says that to all of them, the campers there, and he walks in front of the ramp, and he stands there, brave and strong, Timotheo. He's thinking, like, there's going to be a funeral, and at my eulogy, they're going to call me a hero because I'm going to stop this boulder with my body, and I'm going to sacrifice myself for Camp Rotunda and Lake Rotunda and the entire world because of this boulder.
Because of the boulder.
And he's standing, and the boulder is coming right at him, and he has no time, and the dam ramp is right behind him, and the boulder comes right in front of his face, and it shatters, and he goes, ah!
I like that a lot.
Yeah.
It breaks right before he goes, ah!
Yeah.
And then it breaks.
And from the breakage comes the really, really, really ugly bird and his steel feathers. Feathers that were made of steel. And his feathers that were made of steel. Yeah, you're so right.
And the whole camp thinks that Timotheo is like some sort of superhero. Wizard.
Yes, but also Lake Rotunda has this known thing of being like anti-magic. They can't read Harry Potter.
You're not allowed to practice magic or witchcraft.
No palm reading.
Camp.
I remember when I was palm reading at lunch one time.
You got in serious trouble.
That camp counselor came up to me. They grabbed my wrist. And they were like, what, you want to do magic? Do you want to do magic? Go to magic school then, you little wizard, you little witch. Huh? Who do you think you are? That's what they said.
You weren't even doing a real palm reading. You were like, oh, I think there's
something in your hand. I'll get it for you.
I think there's something in your hand. I'll get it for you. And
I was just being helpful.
You were being so kind.
I know.
And the camp counselors are really strict about that.
So anyway, and then everyone kind of started whispering. They're like, did he just cast a spell? He did scream right before. And maybe in their mind, the scream sounded like, come out, bird, with your steel feathers.
It was just a normal yell, but it sounded surprisingly like that exact sentence.
And so, camp counselor, the one, Timotheo, they have no relation. I just want to throw that in there.
It was a common name at the time.
Storming across the lake. Well,
across the lake.
She's walking on water.
Jesus Christ.
She's magic.
It's extremely anti-magic. She walks across the lake.
She walks across the lake. I forgot. And she stands in front of Timotheo. And she's thinking that he's about to get, praise. Everyone's going to throw him on his shoulders. He just saved the world.
But instead, she takes off her mask. Mm-hmm. And Timothea was an old woman the entire time. Mm-hmm. A witch, if you will. And that's when we found out that the whole camp was a test to see if you could actually be magic and be brave enough to do magic in front of everyone to find out the most powerful wizard or witch. And she decided, this is the moment. I'm going to walk across the lake like a witch because she's a witch. Yeah. Did I cover that?
Yeah, you covered that.
She was a witch the whole time.
Yeah.
And she's like, Timotheo, you've passed the test. You are the wizard for the thing that we've been looking for wizards for.
Yeah, well, it turns out, this is where the story gets a little spooky. Evil witch.
Yes.
So she's like, you're the only one that can survive.
So, Timothea just starts killing children.
And she's about the Leo. It's like, please, no, wait, how does he talk?
Please don't kill those
kids. Please don't. She's casting spells left and right. She's like, yeah. Whoosh, whoosh, whoosh. Yeah, whoosh, 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 whoosh. They're all falling, yeah.
Let's do a little bit more of that. She gets the water. She goes.
She's a waterbender.
The water
The
freezes.
fire from the campfires, all of them.
The water comes up, freezes in midair. Icicles in their eyeballs. 2 per kid. All the kids just go.
That's what the camp sounds like. That's multiple children screaming.
And Timothy Leo remains unharmed.
He stands there, watches the destruction happen, and he thinks to himself, I wish that boulder had just not been a really, really, really ugly bird and his feathers made of steel.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe this wouldn't have happened. And then
and the bird was really ugly, by the way, when it came out.
Yeah.
They saw it and they were like, ooh.
Oh my.
And
That's
so
what they said.
It came out to be another, like, just a story to tell the campers to make them more afraid of magic.
Yes.
They were like, be careful of magic. If you ever do magic, we're secretly magicians and we'll kill all of you.
We're evil witches, yes. And we'll come and get ya.
Getcha.
That's how they say it. And then to celebrate, they all eat s'mores again. Mm-hmm. And it's
Second
great.
s'more break is at the end of the story.
Yes. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the story of Timothy Leo and the really ugly bird and his feathers that are made of steel. Thanks for watching. I'm Noel Doherty.
I'm Maggie Elder.
And this is
The Legend Has It podcast.
The world's most improvised podcast. We are on major... What?
Drew, we were supposed to pick her up from the train station at 1:45.
Oh my god, it's 1:46. We're too late.
That's a shame. I guess you'll have to come next episode. I can't believe we forgot. I set like 8 alarms. Why didn't they go off? I set them on military time.
Shoot, I hate military time. Right. I would never use it.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Barrymore was supposed to come on this episode, you guys. She was supposed to tell the end and, like, act out.
She also went to Lake Rotunda with us. That's why we're friends with her.
Yeah, we know her from the camp.
Mm-hmm.
Shoot, Drew Barrymore is going to be so mad at us. I hope she's not mad.
I know. I hope she'll come next week. I hope she doesn't, like, hold a grudge again.
I guess we'll see you guys next week with special guest Drew Barrymore. We'll reschedule her. I promise.
Yeah, we promise she'll be here. If not, you're legally allowed to kill me.
Yeah, if she doesn't show up within the first 15 minutes of the episode, you're legally allowed to leave.
You're legally allowed to leave.
Thanks for watching.
Thank you.